everybody, it's Colin. Welcome back to my channel. I'm not exactly sure. I said this in my last video too, I think, but I'm not exactly sure how long this will be, because, like, I just kind of thought about this topic, but still wanted to speak about it anyway. Hold on, let me get my lights together. But, oof, I don't know about that. That's a little harsh. That's a little bit harsh. I don't know, but I saw this video on TikTok about it was a male personal trainer talking about how men are terrible to coach, like in group classes or just like one-on-one. And he says pretty much all of them are like terrible to coach, like whoever it is, because they like to make a lot of ego-based decisions, like they don't like to learn, they don't like being wrong, basically. And like examples, he said that it's like, you know, a dude will like do incorrect form and like nearly hurt himself trying to lift more if he sees another woman in the gym lifting heavier weights than him. And this is what the personal trainer is saying. Like he's saying clients of his have done this, and how if they're just lifting wrong on their own, it's like obviously that's his job to like explain it to him, you know, hey, correct your form, whatever. And the dudes will do like everything in their power to like explain how what they're doing is actually right, or like why they're doing it. Like they just can't like correct and just move on. They have to justify their decisions so that they don't look as ridiculous, even though it's really not that I mean, most people live with wrong form. Like in this situation specifically, it's like it's not that big of a deal, and you're paying for a service. Like, so if the personal trainer who you are paying tells you you're not doing this right, you should probably listen. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But I was thinking about this video, and again, I'm not really sure how much I have to say on this topic. I just thought about it today, and I'm really tired. I don't know why, because it's like 5 o'clock, but I don't know why I'm tired. So like, anyway. But I was thinking about that video, and then I was also like reading the comments, and like this girl said that her male tennis coach says that he prefers teaching women tennis because they actually listen instead of dudes. And I thought that was interesting. But the reason any of this specific conversation even came about was because like the original like personal trainer dude who was responding to another woman's TikTok asking why are there no like men's fitness group classes, like unlike women's groups classes. Like, you know, it's very easy to like find videos and just actual like classes near you that are like, you know, like when they do like the cycling. I don't know about my bangs right now, but it's like, you know, when they do like the cycling, there are a lot of women in that class, like a Pilates group class, like, you know, yoga, shit like that. Like, you know, dudes really do not have like any types of classes like that. And that's what the personal trainer guy was discussing. But yeah, I started thinking about this, and I was like, guys are really doomed by their ego. Like, it's a much bigger conversation, but like, you know, being told that they, you know, like can't be vulnerable when they're children, like, you know, obviously we know that that's like not good, but like it kind of surprises me, because like I just hadn't thought about this before, but like it kind of surprises me how it manifests in other ways that aren't just I can't talk about my feelings. It's the also inability to be able to like actually sit down and learn and be open to hearing critique. They will not allow themselves to be in a vulnerable position to actually be students. And I think that's what somebody else said in the comments as well, of the personal trainer guy's video, being like, yeah, they do not want to let themselves be students. And I was like, that's a really, really good thing to think about. Again, ideally, I would have spent a few days ruminating on this a little bit more, like gather some more examples, but like, I was probably gonna forget. So I don't know if the video would have ever been made, but yeah, they don't want to let themselves be students and actually put themselves, because like learning is vulnerable. You know, hearing that you're doing something wrong, and not just, oh, like your behavior is wrong, but just like, you know, in something like a school, or, you know, like a fitness class of like, oh, your form's wrong, oh, you didn't do this, you know, math question right. And like, I'm not saying that because like, you know, I don't I don't like, if I had a personal trainer, I wouldn't necessarily like being told my form is wrong either. Like, I would rather be right all the time. Like, I don't think that's like a bad thing. Like, I would rather be right all the time. I would rather be, you know, most of the time, generally, the best in the room at, you know, whatever topic it is. Like, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with wanting to feel that way, but a lot of gentlemen like to feel this way too much to where they literally cannot accept any critique, be put in any type of learning position, to where that they can actually better themselves and actually be the best person in the room. They literally just like cannot get out of that. And I was thinking about this more, and I was thinking, you know, and watch my full video, things I won't tolerate in relationships anymore, or whatever it's called, a few videos back. Go ahead and watch that video if you want more information on what I'm about to say. But in that video, I talked about how, and I brought this up a couple times since that video, but like, you know, you need to be able to like communicate clearly. But like one of the things, or I think what I was talking about there was like, you need to be romantic. And I was saying about how my last boyfriend, he didn't ask me to be his girlfriend. He was like, or like I brought it up at some point. I can't remember the exact context of how I brought it up, you know, our relationship status to each other. I can't remember exactly how it was brought up, but he ended up saying something like, oh, well, I thought we were, I just assumed we were already together. He says something like that. Or he thought it was implied. I think that's the word he used. He thought it was implied we were together. And I told him, I was all like, it wasn't implied to me. And like, I wasn't even trying to be shady. I was like dead ass, like that. I thought I was single. Like, so, and that's what I told him too. I was like, I thought I was single this whole time. Like, I was still like keeping my options open. Like, I wasn't going out with other guys, but like, if one that, you know, looked pretty interesting had came up to me during that time before he told me he thought it was implied that we were already together, yeah, if a fine looking dude came up and like asked for my number, started talking to me, I would have gave my number. We would have started, you know, chatting or whatever. Like, I'm not, you know, I mean, at that point, like, I already pretty much liked my last boyfriend at that point, so I'm not really sure how far it really would have gone, but I wouldn't have shut off that any of that behavior if anybody did try to hit on me and, you know, get my number stuff. If like, yeah, if the dude was good looking, it's like, yeah, well, I'm single, so I can do whatever I want. So yeah, I'm not now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, like, I'm not trying to piss myself off. Like, I feel pretty calm right now, so I can talk about this now. I'm not trying to get worked up like how I did in that original video, but yeah, I don't even know when he thought it was. I'm not sure if he thought. I don't know when he thought we got together before we had that conversation. Like, I don't know, because like, again, it was not implied. I mean, like, he never mentioned it, so I'm like, yeah, you can't just be implied. So like, I'm not sure if it's different because like he's Muslim. Like, I'm not really sure if that's, you know, a cultural difference. Like, you know, he's not American, so I'm like, maybe it's just different over there in the Middle East. But I'm like, here, no, like, it don't make it a secret. But moving on, when we originally had that conversation, I was drunk and I was like, I'm gonna ask you about this again when I'm sober. So like a few days later, I saw him again and I asked him about it again. I was like, so like, are we together or not? And I was like, you need to ask. And he didn't want to ask. And unfortunately, you know, and I knew it was wrong. And I talked about this in the first video, but like, I knew it was wrong, but I was like, I'm just gonna let it ride. Even though like we kind of went back and forth on it for like, you know, a while, maybe like 10 minutes or something like that, like about, you need to ask me and to be your girlfriend, and he didn't want to do it. And so I just like basically gave in and was all like, okay, I guess we're together then. Like, I don't know, but I knew at the time, I was like, oh my God, like, I really don't want this. Like, I knew it, but you know, I liked him too much at that point. I was just like, I mean, he is saying he wants to be together. Like, you know, I wasn't being, you know, rejected or anything, but it's like, and I wasn't asking for a damn, you know, okay, you need to buy me flowers, which again, I talked about. If you want more insight onto what I want in a relationship, you can just go back and watch that video. But it's like, yeah, like, I don't, when it comes to like asking somebody to be your girlfriend, again, discuss it in the video, but like, I don't need a fucking show. Like, I don't You don't need to get down on one knee. You don't need to. And even for like a wedding proposal, I don't even think I need something particularly flashy. Like, it would be nice to like maybe be on vacation, you know, somewhere nice, like maybe Paris, or, you know, maybe like some tropical place. Like, I don't know, but like I'm not requiring, you know, like some people like to do like wedding proposals where like they'll have like a big sign, or like big like sign letters that will spell out, you know, will you marry me, or something like that, or like, you know, something like really dramatic. And I think I would prefer a more simple proposal that like seems like more unexpected, because there are no visual cues of like, you know, a trail of rose petals. I mean, maybe I'd like that, I don't know, but like, you know, when people be like really showy and like have like decorations really for their wedding proposals, I think I would prefer, I'm just, you know, turned around and then I turn back around, look at you, and you're on one knee. Like, I think I would prefer more of that surprise rather than, oh, I think I know what I'm walking into. I can see rose petals on the ground. I can see, you know, big light up words kind of in the distance. Like, I don't think, I think I prefer something much more simple. But anyway, back to girlfriend proposal. Back to asking me personally to be your girlfriend. I don't need, I mean, I'll see them on Twitter, like, you know, like, I've seen one where it's like they'll be at like a restaurant and have the uh waiter or like chef like spell out on like a plate, will you be my girlfriend? Honestly, I'm not opposed to that at all. For a married one though, like, I'd want something a little more, you know, like I was talking about. But like for a girlfriend one, I'm like, I think that's pretty cute. So like something like that. Some people will do like the balloons and rose petals for like just will you be my girlfriend. I saw one where um it was a guy and the woman he wanted to be with, and they were like carving jack-o'-lanterns together, and he carved into his, will you be my girlfriend. That was very, very nice. Like, I can do that stuff. I'm not gonna say no to that stuff. Now, again, for a wedding proposal, something a little more sophisticated, not as juvenile and simple. But I think for a wedding, or I mean sorry, for like just like asking somebody to be your girlfriend, I think that's cute. But like, I don't even need that. I can do a simple question, will you be my girlfriend? I want you to be my girlfriend. Again, not even a question, that one. Just a statement. I want you to be my girlfriend. Let's be exclusive. I don't know. But I'd prefer the word girlfriend or boyfriend in the sentence. I will say that. But yeah, I don't need a big fucking showy anything crazy like that. Just the question or the statement that is very clear. Like, I need clarity in the fucking sentence, not just, well, I thought it was implied. I don't need it. You see, I don't want to get too worked up, but I do have a point. But but anyway, why I bring this up is because, and I think I also mentioned this in my last video. Okay, if you can't even just ask, again, and even when we were having this conversation, it was here in my bed. At least the second time when I was sober, when I was asking him about are we together or not. Like, I wasn't. I was just saying, like, okay, can you just ask? Like, I wasn't saying, yeah, go take me to a restaurant, buy me fucking flowers, have the damn rose petals in the bouquet spelled out. Like, I'm not asking for anything fucking crazy. I was just like, can you just ask? And he didn't want to do it because he's talking about, you know, I've never asked. So like, I was just like, okay, that has nothing to do with me. And again, I don't know how Arab women or like Muslim women, like, I don't know what the race or religion of the women he was with before me, but like, I don't really know how it works in the Middle East is really my point. But yeah, American women, like, or Western women, I would say in general, like, are, you know, you're expected to ask. Like, that's just the way like things go here. Same thing with proposals. Men generally do the asking, you know, with heterosexual couple. But anyway, yes, my point of bringing that up is that if you are trying to look like too cool or just like, I don't know, keep your ego and shit, like, you can't even be vulnerable enough to ask, can you be my girlfriend, or say the statement, I want you to be my girlfriend. Again, like, if the question is too much, just do the statement, because like, you can still answer that and it's not technically a question. It feels less vulnerable just to say, I want you to be my girlfriend, I want you to be my boyfriend. Women, do not ask a guy to be your boyfriend. Like, so just make it that clear. But But yeah, if you cannot even be vulnerable enough just to ask or say a statement to clarify to both of you, also, this isn't just, to make the woman happy. This is for both of you to know exactly where you guys stand with each other. If you say, I want you to be my girlfriend, she says, okay, yes, and y'all, kiss and hug afterwards, it's like, okay, both of y'all know what's going on here. Unfortunately, even though we were together, I always kind of had this feeling like, okay, like, should I, like, address him as my boyfriend? Like, I would say it in private, but I was like, if we were to be out together or, or something like that, and we would run into somebody that I knew, and, I had to introduce him, like, do I introduce him as my boyfriend? Because, like, he also said, like, he didn't want to be called boyfriend, he wanted to be called my man, and, like, I don't really have it. Well, like he said, it's because like he was too old for that, like basically. And if oh my goodness, it sounded more like kiddish or like less mature to say boyfriend. But it's like, okay, you're old, not me. Like, so I still say boyfriend. Like the fuck. So yeah, that's what I would call him in private. But I was just like thinking in my head, I was like, yeah, if we were to run into somebody I know in public, I gotta introduce you. Like, I know for some reason you don't like being called boyfriend. Well, I do know the reason. But yeah, you don't like being called boyfriend. But, like, I call you that in private. But, like, are we really together? Because, like, the conversation we had was, like, honestly, like, I mean, I gathered that we were together. But it was kind of like, I don't know. Like, it was just kind of like, okay, do you remember that conversation? Like, and I get a good memory. And ended up, down the line, he ended up being jealous that other dudes would like to flirt with me in front of him. Like, I wasn't flirting back, being clear here, but he would be jealous. It was like, okay, so like you do think we're together. Like, but I would just be kind of confused, and it's like I need that clarity, like, or at least or just say, if he couldn't ask after we had that conversation, just be like, okay, so you're my girlfriend now, or okay, I'm your boyfriend now. Like just something like that, to where it's like, okay, but like I don't know. I just left the conversation kind of confused. I was like, yes, we're together. And as happy I was about that, because like, I did want us to be together, it was just like, it really did not feel as exciting as I wanted to. Oh my god, I haven't thought about this in a while. At least not how I felt after it, like, in depth. But like, it just, yeah, it did not feel as great as I hoped after we had that conversation, because he didn't ask again. And it's not, and you can say maybe it's like an ego thing for me to want to be asked, but it's like, I think really the clarity would have been nice. Like, and my mother hates that word, so I know she's mad right now because they say it too much in The Bachelor. But I think that clarity would have been nice, because I was like, yeah, I was just like kind of confused. And then that he didn't want to be called boyfriend. Like, yeah, he wanted to be called my man. Okay, like I said. So I was just like, okay, like, I don't know. I kind of like, it's just like the same way, like, I'm talking about it, and like the way like my shoulders are held up, like my body language, like the squinting, like that's how I felt. And like that's how I was pretty much reacting to it, like at least internally. When we were having this conversation, we were over with it, it was just like, okay, I guess. So yeah, like, it did not end up feeling as great as I wanted it to. Like, after, like, I forgot about it, I was like, yay, we're together. But it was just like, when every time I went back to this conversation, again, I knew at the time we were having it, I was all like, this really does not, this isn't really what I want. Like, I don't really want to be with a dude who cannot just ask, do you want to be my girlfriend? Like, I don't want to. But I I liked him at that point, so it's just like, okay. But it was just like, ugh, like, no, I can't do that again. Like, that, no, you have to grow up and ask. But it's like a bigger picture thing. It's not just about the asking. Again, if you can't just use your words and just ask a simple question, how are you going to, like, actually get down on one knee and propose? Again, I think I brought up this point in my original video, but it's like, if and just asking, will you be my girlfriend, is too vulnerable for you, how do you actually expect to get married? And I think this is where a lot of guys fail. A lot of like men. This is a man specific problem. Like I do like to recognize when women also have a problem, but I do feel like women in general are more, vulnerable, like in their emotions and stuff like that, and like they just don't really have these types of hangups as much. Like there are women who are like, very much trying to look like cool in relationships, but it's like there are way too many dudes who do prioritize looking cool over actually having a genuine connection with the person that they want to be with. Cause like, I mean, I believe that clearly he wanted to be with me, but I don't know, he couldn't fix his mouth to ask, do you want to be my girlfriend? And it's like, you've got to do some growing up. Like, I think, again, I mentioned that in my last video, like, you really got to do some growing up here. But you really cannot look cool and like keep your ego 100% intact and have an actual happy, healthy, deep romantic relationship, and even friendship too. It's like those things really cannot coexist, at least really not that much, maybe to a certain extent. But like, yeah, if you just cannot ask like a 5-word question, is how do you want to be my girlfriend? Okay, 7 words. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. But yeah, if you can't do that because like I guess he was afraid of looking stupid, or that it was kind of beneath him. He also said something else. This was like a couple months after we gotten together. He said something like, no, I never make the first move. And like I wouldn't necessarily say that like when we like first started talking or whatever that like he made the first move, but it's like I would maybe you can say that I did, but like we already it's kind of a little bit hard to say because we already knew each other, because we worked together. Like I definitely did put in more of an effort to like stick around him during the night, and then we started talking, and like we started hanging out together. So it's like, if you want to say like I made the first move, like go ahead, but it's like I don't think I did anything like, I don't think I was in my masculine energy, if you want to call it that. Like I don't think that I was like stepping, or I wasn't doing anything out of my comfort zone. Like I was not putting on necessarily like a performance for him or anything crazy like that. So if you want to say I made the first move, I mean, okay, but it's like, it's not like we were strangers. And like I saw him at a bar, like I went up to him first. Like it wasn't anything like that. But like I'm like, but like when I was hearing this, I was like, okay, but it's like also like, oh my god, can you do anything? Like I'm sorry. Like, and again, I don't think it's because like he wants to look cool and like probably brag to everybody around, which like he was like talking to like mostly women, like I think when he said this, including me. Well, I was in the room. I wasn't really participating in the conversation, but I was in the room. But it was like, I mean, you're not really getting cool points. You're not really getting cool points. Like, oh my god, I kind of going on a side tangent here, but it's like, you're acting like a damn woman and you're proud of that when you're a man and you're supposed to be fucking, masculine. And that's how he paraded himself around, as being, super masculine and, kind of macho. So it's like, so is that supposed to make you look good because you are too, from what I'm hearing, you're too scared of rejection to go up to a woman and make the first move? Like, is that really it? Like that does not, what? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, it's like, oh my god, can you do literally anything? And it's like, but this is like not just a him problem though. A lot of dudes, you will see other dudes. I don't really see it as often. I try not to really engage in this content, but dudes talking about how, yeah, they never have to make the first move. Women will come up to them, and like do whatever they want basically. And it's like, one, like, you are in your feminine energy. You that's just flat out. But it's like, do you want to be happy at all? Like, I don't really know how else to word it, but it's like, do you like actually want to be a man, or do you want to, just basically be in your feminine energy and just like, and like never learn Because like if you keep getting rejected, like I would hope so, unless you go down the incel route. If you were a man and go out and like keep getting rejected by women you would go up and talk to, I would hope, again, instead of becoming an incel, you would fucking learn how to actually approach women in a way that will make them want to keep talking to you. Or maybe you're unattractive or don't smell good or something. But like I would hope that you would learn what you are doing wrong, which is why you're getting all these no's. Fix it. Go back out and start getting yeses. But like, y'all don't ever want to put yourselves in a position where you can look bad. And again, this is what I was like talk about at the beginning of the video, how, you know, men are taught, you know, from a young age to, you know, not let your feelings show, don't be vulnerable. And it's just, I just never really thought about how the other ways it would manifest apart from just like, oh, I don't like talking about my feelings. A lot of gentlemen do not like putting themselves, and like nobody likes getting rejected, okay? Like nobody, I mean that doesn't feel good no matter who you are. You could be the most healed person in the world, you probably don't feel good like necessarily getting rejected. But like if you're really like, you know, the type of dude who cannot ever be a student, like you always have to, if not the teacher, you know, being the teacher, then just like being the best person in the room, like you're probably not. And like I saw this like clip, and she was like, you know, you need to be around, it was about money, but like he needs to be like, you need to be around people where to them like your income is cute. So like if you're bringing in, like, let's say this for example, I think like 10K a month, you need to be around people who are bringing in 50K a month, because like that's how you're going to grow. But if you're only interacting with people who are bringing in 3,000 a month, like, yeah, you look really, really cool to those people who are bringing in the 3,000 a month, but you're probably going to plateau at that 10,000 because you're not around people who make you feel like you have to be better. And I think that a lot of men suffer from the feeling that they already want to be the best, but they're not really actually putting in work to be the best. They don't ever want to put themselves in a learning position to actually be better, because that would require them being in a vulnerable position, such as a student, you know, whether it's, you know, with your fucking personal trainer, in an actual classroom, or in relationships. Like, y'all want to just assume y'all are doing everything right and cannot, you just cannot grow like that. That's really the point of my video. I don't know. That's pretty much everything. Like, sorry I went on a tangent in the middle there, but like, it's alright. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you want to get notifications every time I post, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.